Okay, now we're going to be plotting coordinates on the Cartesian plane. Okay, the rule is when you're plotting on a Cartesian plane, you must always follow the x-axis first, followed by the y-axis. A number of people come up with different sort of things. Basically, you've got to walk along to get to your location before you can climb the ladder and fix the problem. Another student come up to me and he said, well, one person told me is a baby has got to crawl to a location before they can climb it. So in other words, the x-axis comes first before we climb up the y-axis. Another one I often say in my class, doesn't make much sense, but there's an easy way to remember it, is y-axis, y go so high. Nice, easy way to remember it. So y goes high. So we've always got to remember to crawl before we walk, before we climb. It's a common mistake made in a lot of test papers, but you always follow the x-axis comes first in every time you're logging coordinates on a Cartesian plane. So let's log a couple of coordinates on a Cartesian plane. Let's start off with 2, hang on, fix my pen up. Coordinates 2, 3. Okay, so here we go. We always start at the origin here in the center where the lines intersect. Now, as I said, x-axis comes first. So it's x-axis, then y-axis. So starting at the origin, we go across 1, 2, across our x-axis. Then we go, y goes so high. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. So I'll just rub out those other marks. Our final destination is 2, 3, and that's how we log it on our Cartesian plane. Let's do a couple more just to make sure we're sunk in properly in our heads. Okay, now get that out of our way. Let's try another. We'll start off with another easy one. Let's try -5, -2. Once again, we follow our rule. X-axis comes first, then y-axis. So following along, starting at the origin, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we go on our y-axis. In this case, we're going in negative numbers, so we're going down, 1, 2. So our final destination is here, and we write that coordinate in as -5. X-axis comes first, -2. And we don't need all that other rubbish there. I was just showing you where I was counting. So -5, 2. You can see my coordinates being marked as -5, 2. What if we get something along the lines of, let's say, 4.5, 8. Alright, there's nothing really that complex about this other than x-axis comes first, so 4.5, starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4, and there's 5 coming next, but we only want 4.5, so we're going to go halfway between 4 and 5, about there. And now we go up with our y-axis because it's a positive number, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we mark it at 4.5, so halfway between 4 and 5, and we log that coordinate as 4.5, 8. X-axis, once again, always comes first. And we don't need all that other rubbish, all those other spots there, so we'll just get rid of those. Okay. We'll do one on the negative side. I wonder if you can beat me this time. So negative 3.5 and negative 6.5. They're my coordinates. Most of you probably have plotted it by now. So negative 3.5, we started our origin. And this time we're going negative 3.5 along our x-axis, as it always comes first. So 1, 2, 3. Now there's 4, so we've got to go halfway between 3 and 4, and 3.5. There it is there. Now we're going negative 6.5 on our y-axis. So we're not going up the positive, we're going down into the negatives on the y-axis. So 6.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 is halfway between 7. So we're actually going to be right there in the middle of that one there. And then we log it. That is 3.5 by 6.5. And then clean out all the little counting dots there. Oops, I've absolutely rubbed that out. So I'll just put that one back in there. So it's 3.5 by 6.5, which was right there. Okay, so have some fun in your maths textbook and log some coordinates on a Cartesian plane. Have fun.